Alright, let's walk through a live practice for using the does not start with condition in Power Automate. Today we'll create a flow that sends a notification email when a new task is created in SharePoint, but only if the task title does not start with the word optional. This setup is helpful for filtering out lower priority tasks that we don't need to take immediate action on, so we can focus on what's most important. Let's go step by step, explaining each action so you can follow along. Setting up the SharePoint list. Before we dive into Power Automate, let's clarify the fields in our project tasks list in SharePoint. Here's a breakdown. Title. This is the task name, which we'll filter based on whether it starts with the word optional. Assigned to. The user responsible for the task, who will receive the notification email. Status. This choice field shows the task's progress, such as not started, in progress, or completed. We'll use it to ensure we don't send emails for tasks that are already completed. Creating the flow. Let's open Power Automate. Click on Create on the left-hand side and choose Automated Cloud Flow. This option allows our flow to trigger automatically whenever a new task is created, naming the flow and selecting the trigger. For our flow name, let's go with something like Task Notification. Exclude optional tasks to keep it clear. In the Choose Your Flow's Trigger panel, search for when an item is created and select it. This trigger will make our flow start each time a new item is added to the project tasks list. Once you have the trigger, click Create to proceed. Configuring the trigger. Now that the flow is created, we need to point it to our SharePoint list. In the Site Address dropdown, select the SharePoint site where your project tasks list is located. Then, in List Name, choose Project Tasks. This configuration ensures the flow will trigger every time a new task is added to this list. Adding the Does Not Start With condition. We'll now set up our first condition, which will check if the title of the task does not start with optional. Click plus New Step to add an action and search for condition. In the condition fields, set the first box to Title from Dynamic Content. In the Operator dropdown, select Does Not Start With. In the last box, type the word Optional. This condition ensures that only tasks with titles that don't start with optional will proceed through the flow. Let's add a quick note to this condition by clicking the three dots, selecting Add a Note, and writing, "This condition filters out tasks marked as optional in the title." Now let's set up a second condition to make sure we're only notifying about tasks that are either not started or in progress. We don't want to send emails for tasks that are already completed. In the Yes branch of the previous condition, click Add an Action and add another condition. For this condition, choose Status from Dynamic Content. Set the operator to is not equal to, and type Completed. Adding a note here can help others understand this condition's purpose, so let's add, "This condition excludes tasks that have already been completed." Adding a null check for the Assigned to field next, we want to add a check to make sure that there's an Assigned to email before trying to send a notification. This will help us avoid errors if a task doesn't have an assignee. In the Yes branch of the Status is not equal to completed condition, click Add an Action and add a new condition. For this condition, select Assigned to Email from Dynamic Content. Set the operator to is not equal to, and in the expression box, type null. Adding this check ensures that the flow only proceeds if there's an assigned user. Let's add another note. This condition checks if the task has an assigned user with an email before sending the notification. Configuring the email notification. With all our conditions in place, we're ready to set up the email that will be sent if the conditions are met. In the Yes branch of the null check, click plus Add an action and search for Send an email v2. In the To field, select Assigned to Email from Dynamic Content. For the subject, use something clear like New Task Assigned, Title, and insert title from Dynamic Content. In the Body field, include the following message. A new task titled Title has been created with the status Status. Please review and take action as needed. This makes the email informative, with task details included. Add a final note to this action. This email notification is sent only if the task does not start with optional, is active, and has an assigned user. Save to save our work, and then test to make sure everything works as expected. Testing scenarios. Detailed walkthrough. Let's test the flow with a few scenarios to see how it behaves under different conditions. Scenario 1. Task title does not start with optional active status and assigned user action. In SharePoint, create a new task titled Urgent Task, Review. Set status to In Progress and assign it to yourself or a team member. Expected result. The flow should detect that the title doesn't start with optional, that the task is active, and that it has an assignee. It should proceed and send an email notification. Check your inbox to confirm that the email arrived. Scenario 2. Task title. Starts with optional. Action. Add a new task in SharePoint titled Optional. Update documentation. Set status to Not Started. And assign it to yourself. Expected result. The flow should stop at the first condition because the title starts with Optional. This means no email will be sent. Check Power Automate's run history to confirm that the flow stopped after evaluating the title. Scenario 3. Completed task with an assigned user action. Create a new task titled End of Project Review. Set status to completed and assign it to yourself or another user. Expected result. The flow should detect that the task is marked as completed and stop before attempting to send an email. You can confirm this in the run history, where you'll see it stopping at the status check. Scenario 4. No assigned user action. Add a task titled Team Meeting Preparation. Set status to In Progress, but leave the assigned to field blank. Expected result. The flow should stop at the null check because there's no assignee. In the run history, you'll see that it halted at the check for the assigned to email. Great job! We've built a Power Automate flow that filters tasks based on whether they start with optional and checks that they're active and assigned before sending an email. With this flow, we're focusing on important tasks without cluttering the inbox, with notifications for optional or completed tasks. Remember to always add null checks for email fields to prevent errors, and keep in mind that flow responsiveness can vary depending on your Power Automate plan. Thanks for following along, and happy automating!